So, video games. You ever just look back on the year and think, why the f did I do that? Imagine that, but with video games. Here's the rule rundown. These aren't limited to games that came out in the year 2025. They're just games that I happen to play that year. Also, this is just my opinion, because it's my channel. If you feel the need to send me a death threat because my opinion differs from yours, please do so in the comments below. There might be spoilers for a few of the games mentioned, so I'll have chapters set up if you want to skip any. Now that we're settled, let's do some gaming.
You know what that means? Fish!
You guys remember Bossa Studios, right? The people that made Surgeon Simulator and I Am Bread? But did you know that they made a third Rage game? Me neither. I Am Fish is the forgotten child of Bossa. I think that it's a fine idea, it's just not executed in that great of a way. The controls are ass, but that's the point. If you can somehow manage to get the controls down, then the game actually becomes somewhat fun. My main issue is that the levels are just way too big. The levels in the previous one felt short and sweet, while now they just drag on and oh my god. It's fine. Like a high C tier. It made me mad, that's kind of the point of the game, though otherwise it's nothing too memorable. Poco is a short and sweet point and click about a short and sweet clown. I just love this aesthetic. Tiny people making things out of big junk is just peak. It's a point and click akin to something like Treasure Island, or Strong Bad School Game for Attractive People. And I'm not joking when I say this game is short. You could absolutely finish this in like an hour if you know what you're doing. But in that hour contains some of the sweetest charm that I've ever seen in a game. Oh, also it's free. I probably should have mentioned that. Go play it after this.
It's time for Horse Plinko!
Balls. Newbie's Number Factory is a Plinko game with roguelike elements. Also known by annoying people as Holy shit, Peggle Balatro? You clock in at the Number Factory and do your daily task of ensuring the sun doesn't blow up. This is certainly the art style of all time. You pop pegs for numbers, then you get coins to buy things in the shop based on how many newbies you saved from the previous round. Items can either pop pegs for you, affect score doubling, or put this shit on your screen. I'm trying to keep my description as direct as possible, because I know newbies got shooters. I enjoy it, but it isn't high on the list of games that I boot up when I feel like just chilling. It could also be that I'm not particularly good at it. Nah, that's the game's fault.
I do not, Donkey, but I might have spaghetti and meatballs if you ask nicely.
Uh-oh. When they say that it never ends, that was a threat. Oh, man. I was kinda let down. Very cold open, so let me elaborate. In terms of gameplay, it was f***ing fantastic. The battles in the original Everhood were already great, the rhythm dodging system is really fun, and the color matching was a good mix-up halfway into the game. The way that they evolved it in the sequel is cool. You can absorb more projectiles leading to a much stronger attack, but if you're damaged, you lose the whole charge. Now there's a fun risk/reward aspect. The music and art are still banging as f***, meaning that the battles are just as great, if not better than the original. Unfortunately, battles in this game can repeat, and they do get annoying after a certain point. Then there's my main problem. The story... Just what the f***? There is no through-line or overarching story. You just go into an area, battle some enemies, and you win. Then you do that again, then again, then again, I get it. It's the antithesis of it never ends in Everhood. Haha, real funny, guys. Any dialogue it does have doesn't really feed into any bigger picture. And anytime it does, it just feels kind of dumb. Now that itself isn't the worst, so it's still a fine game. But the main thing is that it's a sequel. I really loved the first ever Hood story. It genuinely touched me during a time when I was not doing well. And I understand with how final it was, that would be pretty hard to follow that up. On its own, it's still a good game. Fun fights, banging soundtrack. Just don't expect anything serious.
And that's why I'm giving this game a 5 out of 5 billion. It fucking sucks.
Listen, I know it's technically 2/7 of an even bigger game, but I feel kind of obligated to put it here. And since they're part of the same game, I'll try and keep this brief. Chapter 4 is pretty good, even if I enjoyed it less out of the two. The Sanctuary Dark World is an unsettling, calm, quiet atmosphere, which I think is really cool considering that the last few chapters were very in your face. Then an old man shows up. Considering that there's no antagonist to banter with, I think having just this random tag-along is fun. Funny old man comes in, he's old, and he mentors Susie. The fight against him is really good, truly being a test of resolve. The Jackenstein fight was also just... Sadly, I just did not like exploring the Sanctuary. As soon as I got the claws, I just knew I'd be wasting my time walking back and forth through the halls again. Also, I just didn't particularly care for the latter half of the chapter. Like, the Titan fight looked cool, but it felt more style than substance in all honesty. Chapter 3 was f***ing fantastic. This is my favorite chapter so far. It's all over the place, zany, and just filled with unnecessary minigames. Which, while still fun, are just dumb distractions. This is a deliberate decision, because the other half of Chapter 3 is lonely. It's eerie, it's cold and desperate. Put the f***ing SpongeBob image on screen, but like, I was genuinely unsettled by this chapter. Having some of the heaviest moments in the game mixed with the stupidest and goofiest shit is hilarious. And that Tenna fight, just magnificent. Deltarune's Chapter 3 and 4 overall, pretty good. I enjoyed them a perfectly fine amount. I'm excited to see where the story goes in the next chapters. Anyways, here are 4 other games that are much better than this mid-ass walking simulator.
Hang on, this is a little dirt trail. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is the average Californian driver. Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom has to be one of the most batshit insane games I've ever played. Imagine a collectathon mixed with Crazy Taxi while you're also 12 bottles deep. You play as a yellow taxi, and that's the main pole. The controls and level designs are all based around you being a car. You can drive, you can boost, but you can't really jump. Because have you ever seen a car jump? Fuck you. There is some real tech you can put in. Pulling off stunts that allow you to make jumps that are just barely possible. And that is really cool. The levels themselves are really fun to traverse, all being built around speeding and ramping. The visuals also are just... I mean, just look at the screen, man. How do you expect me to describe this? This has to be the world's greatest DUI simulator. I fucking love rhythm games. This was one of my most anticipated games of 2025, along with Everhood 2. Which is funny because both of them advertise themselves as what if the music wanted to stab you. And while Everhood goes in a much more creative direction, Rift of the Necrodancer goes for the usual styles of having the buttons be pressed while on beat. No, but you see, this one's different. The notes look like monsters. That's not just a stylistic choice. Each monster has a specific gimmick in mind. Take for example the Knight, launching themselves after a sound cue. The visuals take a lot more effort to focus on compared to the usual line or arrow, especially in the harder difficulties. Like, what the f is happening here? There's also a health system. Make too many mistakes and it's over for you. But at the end of the day, it's still a rhythm game. It may look like chaotic bullshit, but as long as you stay in tune, you'll do great. And another important part of a rhythm game is the soundtrack, and oh, maybe this one is an absolute banger. There's also mini-games and boss fights, which, while pretty average in quality, are just fun little bonuses to what's already a great game. One negative I can levy against it is that the DLC is f***ing egregious. Like, the collabs are cool, but man, make a pass or bundle or something, because what the f*** are these prices? I'm willing to ignore that though, because there's one bonus thing that really pushes this game towards the top. Mod support. For a rhythm game. This is peak. Thanks to the cool community, you have a ton of mods that you can play. And a lot of them are great, but some of them just go above and beyond. It's also pretty easy to make a rift yourself. Me personally, I've made a couple of my own. I'm especially proud of Militant. This is a really fun rhythm game with a cool gimmick, and it looks like an assault in the eyeballs to the non-initiated. This is exactly my type of thing.
I want mommy, I want milk, I want to be held, I want to be comforted.
Promise to keep the comments civil. Persuado Regalie is a damn great game. It's a retro-style 3D platformer where the protagonist just so happens to be built like thick mommy. It happens sometimes. Take for instance my assistant who is manning the camera. It's a Metroidvania, meaning you have to find your skills before you can use them. The downside to that is that you don't have immediate access to one of the smoothest movement systems I've ever had in a 3D platformer. Sybil controls like a dream, smooth as butter and thick like jelly. At the beginning though, she's pretty bare bones. The upside is that you can push the limits and see what upgrades are really necessary. You need 5 keys, but how you get to them changes depending on how f***ing awesome you are. One thing is that getting lost is really easy, because the map kinda sucks. And that's even if you have the map. It's super easy to just miss the room that has the map on your first run through. So you go through most of the game before it becomes running around like a headless chicken until you give up and Google where the map is. Here's footage of me picking up the map. This is how far I got without it. It's still a fantastic game, and for the price of a cheap burger meal, it's a great cost for something this quality. A game said to have only appeared when suffering a case of delirium is finally realized, and it is f***ing peak. First off, Silksong is significantly tougher than its predecessor, both in the fair way of you had 6 years to practice, get good, and in the unfair way of everything does 2 damage. F*** you. As someone who enjoys a good challenge, I'm pretty annoyed by the damage choice, but everything else slaps. Farloom is a really interesting place to explore. Having to climb up the citadel is fun. It really makes you feel like you're being punished for your sins. And you have a lot of new ways to fight the world around you thanks to the tools and crests taking the place of charms. You can vastly switch up how Hornet approaches fights. My first playthrough was pretty vanilla, staying on the Hunter crest for most of the game. But there's a lot of combos you can make. It's basically Hollow Knight, but faster. You need to be nimble, quick on your feet, and striking when you can. Or you can just use Cogflies. No matter how you approach this game, Silksong is still gonna test your skills as a gamer. It's frustrating, it's beautiful, and it is my #1 game of 2025. It was really fun getting to do something like this again. You guys have no clue. But that's neither here nor there. I've been your host, E Grandiose, and join me next time where I punch down on things that don't deserve it. Have a grand night, folks. Grab some chips and a glass of orange juice, cause here we go. I can't put that in the fucking